this is an interesting topic. I'm curious about this one. So over 10,000 American baby boomers turn 65 every day. So when you have that many people leaving the workforce, going into retirement, they're all excited about it. But what does it do to our economy, our system, if you will?
Well, people like me that are financial advisors, I'm ready. Like, come to me, right? Those are my people.
You're raising your hand. I'm right here.
I'm right here. I can help you. But for the economy in general, think about it. You've got all of the expertise, all of their knowledge leaving the workforce, all of the trades. I mean, that's a huge deal because there's not enough electricians or mechanics or, fill in the blank. There's so many people leaving and there's not enough people coming in. And that's just economy-wise. Then you think Social Security. You have 3 people taking out of that program for every 1 person you have putting money into that program. And Social Security wasn't intended to be your sole source of income in retirement, but a lot of people, that's what they live on. Not to mention, I've been paying in my whole life, so when I get there, I want to make sure I can, get the money out. So it's just a completely different picture when you start looking at that many people leaving the workforce, and how do we fill back in those people that are leaving?
Yeah, those numbers are kind of astronomical when you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, the first Gen Xers are in their mid-50s now. What do you want them to be thinking about as they look towards the next 10, 15 years? What needs to be kind of at the top of their minds?
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we Gen Xers?
I wasn't going to go there, but apparently you are. Yeah, we are.
I kind of think we are.
We are. We have to own it.
We do have. But let's walk tall and proud as a Gen Xer.
That's funny.
So I think about, what am I doing for myself, right? Or what are the things that I need to be thinking about? People, you think it's so far away. Retirement is so far away, that it's so far down the road. I don't even need to start thinking about it. But I know people that are my age starting to gear up for retirement in the next 5 years or 7 years. So what does that look like? We need to make sure that our savings is on point, that we've done a good job during our working years so that we have enough assets to be able to fund the income in our retirement years. And that just doesn't happen automatically. We have to be mindful of that. And I think it'll be our turn to retire before we know it. People ask me all the time, well, when will you retire? I don't really know when I'll retire because I enjoy what I do.
I think that goes to it. We've talked about that on the show before. Just sometimes it's not a choice. Sometimes we want to continue working.
Yeah, and I think if you want to continue to working, that's great because you want it. I don't want somebody to have to be forced to continue to work in retirement because they haven't planned well enough. So let's make sure that planning starts now. And I think that's one of the things that we can help them the most, these Gen Xers.
And let's kind of get into that a little more. As you get closer to retirement, there does need to be a shift in retirement savings, how we do that. What does that look like?
The shift in the planning goes from accumulation, like just save, growth at all cost type of mentality, into income distribution or preservation of assets or transfer of wealth. When I'm talking about legacy planning, those two are not they're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum. Save, and then spend, and that transition is not comfortable for some people. Some people, they're all in and it's not a problem. But I almost feel, Amy, like I have to give our clients give them authorization to spend their own money because they're so used to saving that they've got that, they're white knuckled.
They're programmed that way.
They're programmed that way, and they've got their cash.
I know many people.
Yeah.
A couple might be my parents.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hope they're not watching right now.
And it is hard. They get to that point where we have to give them permission to spend their own money just so they feel comfortable doing it. It's 100% okay for them to start to spend that money and just get kind of comfortable with that routine of not building back in those accounts as they deplete them.
Isn't it interesting how things have shifted just in the time that you've even been working in this business with how we look at retirement as a whole?
I think it's not only just the transition to retirement, financial advisors, how they, incorporate the different types of planning. It's also the methodology around what buckets do you pull from first. These are all things that, we've kind of flipped on its tail, and now we do things maybe completely different than what our parents did or what our grandparents did because the environment's different, the market is different, interest rates are different, the rates that we have to spend on, cost of living or health care or taxes, they're all so different that we have to be make sure that we're amendable and we can make adjustments as needed.